Okay, I'm really excited about today's episode because I've been trying to get these guys together for at least a month, and we all are so busy that it's taken a while to get us all on the same schedule. So today I have Drop Squad, me, Sandy, Kat, and Mykel, and we all talk about working out and Drop Squad and how it's changed our bodies and our minds and our lives and what we enjoy about it, what we don't enjoy about it. And Mykel gives some tips about working out too. But he's also offered to answer any questions from any of my listeners. So if you have any questions about working out or working out with a trainer, or maybe your physical fitness, you can email me at wifeotp.com and just email a question to me or to Mykel, and we'll do another follow-up episode asking or answering all your questions, which I thought was really generous of him because he is very, very busy. And Mikael Jenkins is the trainer, and he trains like Olympic beach volleyball players. That's his clientele. And then he trains people like me who had an injury and are recovering from an injury. And Sandy had an injury, and Kat had an injury. We all had injuries, and he has gotten us. I mean, I think I'm in the best physical shape of my life. It's really been transformative. So I've been dying to get Drop Squad together to talk about Drop Squad. And we had some timing issues in the beginning where Kat was on time and then Mykel was a little late and then Sandy was a little late, but it had taken me so long to get us all scheduled. I didn't want to just cancel and move it. So please be patient as the people join the podcast. They'll all be there at some point, and we have great chat. So thanks for coming back every week. Thank you for all your emails. Like I said, I don't necessarily get to answer all of them, but I do read all of them, and I really appreciate all your kind words and even your constructive criticisms. Please keep them coming. And thank you so much, everybody who sent such nice messages about my family. That's so nice. It's so easy, I think, these days to just send nasty stuff. Some people just find it easy to be nasty. And I'm so grateful that people just send positive things about my family, especially. I don't care if you don't like me or my podcast, but when my kids are on and all I hear back is just good stuff, that's really, really heartwarming. So thank you very much for being big fans of my kids. I'm big fans of my kids too. So anyway, thank you for coming back every week. I hope you enjoy this episode, and please email me those questions for Mykel. I'm dying to hear what you want to ask. Enjoy the episode.
How have you been today? Oh, I worked out this morning.
You did?
Yeah. And it was all about those fucking 7-pound weights again. So my arms are like, yesterday I had an itchy back and I couldn't, they hurt so much.
I know. The 7 is a big difference to step up from a 5-pound to a 7. It's really big. I know the first day he had me do that, the next day I could move. And I thought, it's only 2 pounds. Why is it that?
It's 4 pounds.
But I mean, per arm.
Yeah, but it's a lot. And then yesterday, Sherry broke her toe.
She did?
Yeah.
How did she do that?
She walks around the house with bare feet. I don't know how she does it. I mean, I live in those Kreischer slippers that you gave me. And I hear this, ow, ow, shit, ow, ow. And yeah, the little toe was just like that. And she pushed it back in.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
She went to the podiatrist. But you know what? She did the B squad this morning.
She did? With a broken toe. So what is it about? What is it? Is it the people that work out with Mykel, or the people we know that work out with Mykel that have this like do it or die? Well, I mean, I have not missed a single session unless I was on the road with Bert since I started last December, not one.
Me either. I will not miss one unless I have to work.
Unless it's for work, right?
No, they're like, I don't feel like it today. I don't feel good. I mean, they're older, but they're not older than Sherry. And the only time Sherry misses it is if she has to go to work.
To work, right.
Yeah.
But what is it, do you think, about this group of people? Nobody misses.
I don't know. I like the results, and I like the way it makes me feel. But
Same.
they, I mean, they're in another world. I mean, they're just like out of it. They really
No, but you're talking about B squad, right? But with drop squad, Sandy's never missed.
No.
I mean, we just don't.
I think, well, you guys particularly, your bodies have changed like 180. Mine kind of stay the same because I've worked out with him longer and I still eat like a pig. I don't follow his diet. But you guys, your bodies have really changed. So I think you have a bigger motivation to keep it up.
Right. Well, I know when I started working out with him, my whole goal was to be stronger. I was having a hard time standing up from the dryer. Like I'd put clothes in the dryer and I'd have to pull myself up. And I was like, okay, that's pathetic. Like you can't stand up by unassisted from the dryer. That's pathetic. Now you need to go get some help. You just can't. I do not accept that for myself anymore. So,
and then remember how you pulled yourself up that tree not that long ago?
Yes, I did. I was falling out of a tree and I caught myself and then pulled myself up and I kept going, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just did that. And before the dryer thing hit me, we take our girls to my dad's lake house every summer. And there's this big rope swing that swings from the bank, hangs from a tree, and you swing out over the lake and drop into the lake. And I was afraid. It's so country. I grew up doing those we call them rope swings, my whole childhood. And then when it was time for me to take my girls on one, I was afraid I couldn't hold my body weight enough to not like hit the ground. So and then I came home and couldn't stand up from the dryer. And I was like, oh, I'm done. I have to get my strength back. I can't believe I've lost that much strength. Not to mention, I've lost 15 pounds. I've gained 5 pounds back from the 20 that I originally lost. And Mikael told me he thought about half of that was probably muscle because my muscles are so much more significant than they were when we started. But I'm not eating what he told me either, by the way. I haven't since like August. And I feel like if I'm eating whatever I want and I'm staying at 15 pounds lighter than before, I'm cool with that because I'm really happy. I'm happy. I'm enjoying my life.
Yeah.
And before, I mean, it was okay to eat lean protein and greens, but after a certain amount of time, I was like, oh my God, I cannot have another version of an arugula salad. I mean, I just can't do it another day. I need a piece of bread.
Yeah, I kind of eat what I want. I do. I mean, but I haven't lost as much weight as you guys. I mean, Sandy is like 0 body fat suddenly.
I know.
Not suddenly, but since she started. But I knew that you guys would get along really well because, he's really hard, like to get people in. He's so busy.
He seems really busy.
He does his Olympic teams and then he's got these, the tubs. You've never met the tubs, but
I have never met the tubs. I've heard lots about the tubs.
And,
is that their name?
No.
Oh, it's just what you
fat. They're just fat, so I call them the tubs.
I was going to say, I hope they're not listening. A random son of the tubs is like, they're talking about you on this podcast. Okay.
No, they're like obese, and they've been going to him for years, and they never lose weight, but he never yells at them the way he does us.
I wonder why.
I don't know, because I guess he's just, I don't know, like the mother's a therapist and he loves her, but she's fat too. The husband's a trumper. And, he would hang out and talk to us and he'd be like, you better leave because these women hate you. And I'm like, oh, God, he said that, not me.
Well, I cannot appreciate, I tell you and Sandy when she gets here, how much I appreciate helping me get in with him. Because for people who don't know, Mykel is a trainer, obviously a personal trainer. He trains several Olympic beach volleyball players, like really elite athletes. And I think at least from what I've devised, another specialty of his is rehabbing people with injuries.
Right.
And he likes people who are older. He tends to like people who are, I don't think I've seen anybody in their 20s except for his son's friends and the beach volleyball players.
Yeah, that's right. He does. Well, that's how I got Sandy in, because you remember she had that frozen shoulder and she really couldn't move. And I knew that he could help her.
And he did.
And he did. And then you were complaining that you had to do a TV show or something. I think it was when you were doing The Cabin. Is that right?
It was before The Cabin, but really so The Cabin filmed in January, but before that in June or July, I had been going to see a chiropractor for well over a year for a lower back injury. I injured my back.
That's right.
And I kept saying to Sandy when she was getting results from her shoulder, if he will see me, please, because my chiropractor had said, I've kind of done all I can. At this point, it's muscular. You have to build the muscle around that joint or it's just going to keep popping out. So when she started getting all the success with her shoulder, I was like, please, please, please. So the motivation was twofold. I wanted to lose weight and then I wanted to really fix my back. And I just have almost no problem. I mean, like almost no problem with my back. It's an odd, rare moment. And it's really just discomfort. It's not pain, and it goes away really quickly.
Amazing. He's amazing. I knew you guys would get along because you're both from the South.
Yes.
I knew that. So I just had to wait for the right moment to kind of like, I got him when he was a bit vulnerable. I'm like, oh, you're really going to like her. And he was just like, oh, okay. And then,
And Sandy went to Vietnam, and so I took her spot as a tryout.
Yeah.
I tried out one day. I knew the first day he and I would really get along. I know exactly who that guy is. I grew up with that guy. He's exactly the guys I grew up with. So, and I think he probably, I don't know, maybe feels the same way about me.
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does.
I think we have a shortcut in language too.
Yeah, you do. He doesn't reveal much about himself, but you somehow understand it. I mean,
I do.
It's a weird thing. But the workouts are really amazing. And when I tell my 31-year-old assistant that I'm doing tuck jumps with like weights in my hand, he's like, that's really hard. Shit. I'm 58 and I'm jumping around like you do. He's like, I don't do that. He goes to the gym and he's like, that's really, really hard.
It is really hard.
Really hard.
It's impressive, the stuff that we do. I'm impressed with myself. Yeah. Not to sound braggy or anything, but he'll say, we're going to do this exercise where I will say to him, I actually can't do that. There's no way. And then I'll be able to do it. So he knows my body better than I do.
Yeah.
I can do exactly what and I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
I will never tell him I can't do anything. Even though I look at it, I'm like, I can't do that. But if I say I can't do that, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be like, I don't want to hear that.
I know.
I mean, and he does that with the B Squad, who are like in their 70s. And let me tell you, it is not easy. And they complain more, but they do it. He doesn't want to hear it. Did he manage to get in?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Here he is.
Here
there he is. Mikael.
Hello.
Hello. I figured it out.
You're the Zoom wizard.
No. No, I am not. I will not take that. No. I have kids. They didn't.
Oh, that's right.
I got stuck. I was like, oh my God, I do not know what's going on. But
how do I get in this thing? Thank you for coming.
Sure.
We were just talking about how hard our workouts are. We were just singing your praises about how you fixed Sandy's shoulder and how I came to you for my back and how Kat had to wait for the right moment to tell you you're going to love Leanne, and then you just love Leanne.
These are all facts.
Yeah, it's true. I knew that you guys would really get along. All I had to say was she's from the South.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
And to her credit, I was like, so what does that mean? Because there's all kinds of South. You know what I mean? But to her credit, she spoke very highly of you. She said she's not a quitter. She's going to work hard. I was like, I don't think I've ever had a woman speak that well of another woman.
Aw.
Well, that is we're very close. Our women group, we really support each other.
For sure.
We always do. And that's what's great about us, actually. Even
yes.
The B Squad, too. And I don't call them B because they're lesser than us. But
hey.
The reason I call them the B Squad is because it is our friend Bia. So I just call it the B Squad because it's akin to her name.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I call it, the B Squad.
No, I think we are a unique group of women. Kat and I were talking about that earlier. I asked the question, why is it all these women in this group? I have never missed a session unless I was on the tour bus.
Sure.
Sandy has never missed a session. We've never. Do you know I haven't been sick since I started working out with you? I haven't even had a cold.
Facts.
And I would get sick probably 2 or 3 times a year.
Really?
Yep. And I haven't even gotten a cold. Nothing.
It's the truth. And to the point where like delivery guys are walking behind you, plumbers, like you girls, man.
Oh yeah, I'm here yesterday. The inspector.
It's an interesting thing. But I appreciate that commitment. It's rare. I think
is it really rare?
It's extremely rare. And here's the thing. People love to say what they want. That's another thing. Oh, I would give anything. And then the opportunity to actually get it comes. They're not really interested in the process. They just want to be entitled to shit. Like they want to have a body of someone who works hard consistently, who doesn't miss. They want that body, but they want to miss. They want to eat whatever they want to eat. It's just hard. So like to get a group of women, especially with the way the demands that are placed on you guys, just unconsciously, to get a group of women who are that committed, like all 3 of you, it's I've been doing this for a long time. It's rare. It's top 2%. I have elite athletes. They don't miss.
Right.
Yeah, no, they don't miss.
No,
they don't miss.
They don't
but
miss.
You have a lot of clients that when we used to come to the pit, I would see, well, the tubs, we call them the tubs. I don't know what their name is, but they've been for years. And then I would see like Linda, the older lady, she's much older. She's, she endures it. I mean, there are a lot of people. I don't know, but I see a lot of
people. I've just been fortunate enough to weed out. You're running into people who we've decided to go on this journey with. Like, you know who I am. Like, I basically try to make you quit the first month.
Do you really? Is that what you do? You try to make somebody quit the first month?
Do you remember all the breakdowns?
I set the standard.
Oh, I did have several breakdowns. I forgot.
Yeah, no, you had breakthroughs. You had breakthroughs. We've had no breakdowns. We've had breakthroughs.
No, I didn't really have any breakdown. That is true. I just got the entire 30-minute drive home, but whatever.
Yeah, you broke through, though. That's a breakthrough. You gotta have to go through some shit. I love going through that with someone. I'm talking about like a lot of people in LA like to say they have trainers, and that's real cool. To tell your girlfriend you got a trainer. That's super, whatever. I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. What I'm interested in is far greater than that. I want to have an experience. That's my life. Like people they don't really think about it like that. But you got hours in your life. And then that's it. It's not a product. You can't sell it. It's your hour.
Yeah.
So when people are like, I can't leave this job, I can't afford to leave this job, I'm making $9 an hour. That's your life. You've decided that hour in your life is worth $9.
Right.
You just got to really think about that because what you're giving that person is your hour. This isn't like a pair of sneakers and I got 300 pair back there and I'm going to give you a discount on these. I can lose here and pick up there. It's like the hour is up. So I don't want to share an hour of my life with anyone that isn't on some sort of journey.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the money. It's about I love watching women fall into men as well, into their most powerful state. Because then they do their most powerful things. And I get to be in the background watching it happen. I've watched marriages come together. I've watched marriages come apart.
I think you do a little more than watch.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, in all the workouts we've done, we have never done the same thing twice. Never.
No.
Ever. I mean, pretty
that
amazing.
that right there is the sauce. That right there.
That's the sauce.
Is a straight. Hey, listen, I'm gonna take that. That's a huge compliment to the work we put in. And don't mention no machines.
No machines.
So I'm not like going, you go sit down over there, then you can stand over here and sit there. You can sit there. And then we're going to do that for 30 minutes.
No. Hi, Sandy.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I know that you write it down and you tailor it for us. And it's amazing that, that I'm sure there are some trainers that are just like,
Some trainers. Let's just be perfectly honest. Like most trainers.
Yeah, most trainers.
Which is why they like boot camps.
They set and repeat.
Because you just put the shit on the wall, and then you make everybody do the same thing, and it's like they're getting paid. Now, I'm not hating on boot camps, but because a lot of trainers make a lot of money doing those things. But is it the best thing for the individual?
Right.
And here's what I'd say to you: would you go to a boot camp doctor? Would you go to a boot camp beautician? Would you have her doing 9 hands at one time, and you just as long as it looks kind of like what you want, it's cool to save $20 or $30. Like how people treat themselves is interesting. I like that.
You said something one time where I said you should start like putting these on YouTube or something, and you said I can't do that because every workout is specific for that person I'm working out. So I can't have somebody come on and just watch this workout and repeat it because it may not be right for that person. And that's my impression was you were saying on some level for you, in your opinion, that was almost unethical to say, this workout when that person, it may be a bad thing for them.
Yes. And a lot of people have hurt themselves trying to do something they saw on YouTube.
Right.
And if that's not posted, I mean, who's responsible for that? Like, you're posting it, hoping people click on it.
Right.
Well, of course they're going to get on the floor and try to do it because it looks cool. And I want to empower, I was talking to my brother who's also a trainer who I certified actually. And he does boot camps. And I was like, but my brother's a shark. Like my brother, what I mean by shark is like, he thinks everybody's adults. He's going to do everything he can to give them everything they need. If it's too many people there and you get 70% or 60%, you're an adult.
I see.
You have the right to choose his private sessions, which aren't the same price.
Right.
But you've been with me. You've been with me when I was training like Susan and her back was whatever, and I would have a completely different set of things going on with Susan and you two focusing on something completely different.
Yeah, he does. You curate it for each person. I mean, it's amazing to me that you can look at someone's body and know where the strengths lie and the weaknesses lie. I mean, I consider myself to be pretty fit for an older person, but there are some things that just really...
You got to stop that older person stuff.
Middle-aged.
You got to stop that. You got to stop that.
For a young woman.
Yes.
And there's some things that just still are really, really hard for me. It's just, I don't know why.
Hey, listen, they're hard. It's not hard for you ladies? Is it hard for you, Sandy?
It's terrible. Yeah. It's terrible. You know that most of the times we hang up the phone and either Sandy calls me or I call her and we go, oh my God, I thought I was going to die. Like this past week, I was like, I definitely am not going to be able to walk tomorrow. Like 100%. She called me one day and just said, my ass. That's all she said. I was like, my ass too. It's terrible. So painful.
Well, I will say this to your question about being able to look at someone and see their strengths and weaknesses. That's not true. You ladies are like open for me to see it. Like you don't hide your weaknesses from me. You let me participate in not only going right at them, like, cause we don't dodge them. When you tell me something's wrong, we go at it. You're just, that's another part of the rarity things. Like, you really do use me as a resource. Like, you really are challenging me as a part of one of the teams that contribute to your wellness. So it's very serious for me to make sure you feel like you worked hard enough to look in the mirror and see change. Because half of the reason change happens is because you busted your ass. And you know when you're working hard enough for something to happen, and you know when you're not.
Yes. It's
So
true.
like,
And you know what? Something that I've learned from working out with you is, when I have pain, like my knee was hurting the other day, and you said, well, that means you're in the wrong position. You've got too much pressure on the back leg. You need to shift to the front leg. And I don't know, for some reason, those little moments where you will have me make a slight adjustment and all the pain goes away, I can apply that to other places in my life where I go, this is difficult. Why? What slight adjustment? How am I slightly off here so that I can stop making this so difficult? Right. So for me, this journey with you, Mykel, and with Sandy and Kat has made me apply it to everywhere else because it's all connected, right?
yes.
So all this pain, in the beginning, I was having all those breakdowns when I would do sit-ups.
Breakthroughs.
I would get in the car and go and really ask myself, what was that about, really? What was really going on there so that I could figure it out and work through it? So I didn't just try and shut it down. So then you apply that in other places in life when you're not working out, or I do.
Rare.
I don't know if it's rare or if or if my brain works.
Listen. I've been doing this for 25 years. Rare.
Well, thank you.
It's rare that a person has an experience that's difficult and goes and takes a moment for themselves and goes, what is this really about? And then attacks it. That's unheard of. What happens is, look at this. Come on, look at the country right now. What we do is we have a difficult time and we go, it's your fault. We look for blame. We don't want to fix nothing. That's why it keeps coming back to you. Right. Because my dad told me once, I'll never forget this. This is a beautiful thing. I think about this all the time. We were in this championship game of some sort, and I found myself to be a pretty decent athlete. So I'm in the huddle going off on everybody in the huddle because nobody's doing anything. And so we get off the field, offense takes the field. My dad says to me, stop looking around for everybody else in the huddle to make a play. The reason you can't find that person is because it's you.
That's it. That's great.
You make a play.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was like, it's funny how easy it was for me to be like, bro, you ain't in your gap, right? You're not big. And the real issue is like there are opportunities everywhere. Right. What are you going to do?
Right. Well, it's your bag. You're the only one that can unpack it, right?
You're the only one that can unpack it. That's right. And people, I get it. It's hard. Get in the car and blame yourself.
So, Kat, how did you start working out with Mykel? How did you? Because you're the origin person, right?
Well, the girl. I always worked out. I was a dancer, not a pole dancer, like a ballerina.
And artistic expression everywhere.
That's true. And I always worked out. I do Pilates. I go to the gym, and the girls, the B squad, my friends, would tell me about Mykel, and they would. They would praise him. They would complain about him, and it all.
I know you. I know you.
Complain, and they would, talk about how harsh he could be sometimes. I'd be like, "You guys are nuts. I would never put up with that." But it all started with a friend of ours, Marsha, who came to Mykel a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. She had a really messed up back. She couldn't even straighten herself up, and he fixed her. And then he got, the B squad. And then Marsha decided that she wasn't going to come see Mykel anymore. So a spot opened up, and I was like, okay. So I had to go for, the trial. And
the month where he tries to get you to quit.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, and I consider myself to be quite fit, but it was pretty hard. But I just wanted to keep going.
And you passed?
And then I apparently I passed. And I didn't get too much of an earful every now and then. And I would go with the B squad. And, like I say, they struggle a bit more. They're more like in their heads a little bit. I mean, I think I'm more like when it's hard, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. Maybe I just need to readjust or just take a 5-second break and get my head right and keep going. With them, it's like, oh. And then they stop listening and it just all falls apart sometimes. And I think it can be quite frustrating for Mikael. But I think, and then that's, when it started. And then, Sandy with her, do you remember Sandy? You were walking around putting your elbow on, putting your shoulder on the wall. And I'm like, I know, Mikael.
She did this thing. She would lean on a wall and go like this.
Everywhere. But you could walk around and
and I'd be like, what are you doing?
And then I'm like, I think he can fix you. So again, I had to wait for the right time to bring it up. And I just kind of threw it in. He's like, oh, okay. And then.
No, actually what I said is, if she's anything like you.
Oh, I don't remember that. But then I probably said, yeah, she's just like me.
And I mean like hardworking, committed, consistent, those general necessary.
Well, she's even more hardworking and committed because she's the one
that's what you said exactly. And I was like, bring her on down.
Well, this is what Kat told me. She said that, okay, I'll try to get you in, but do as I said. Okay, don't talk back.
Thank you.
And then just do it and don't complain. And then she showed me a picture of you. I was like, oh, he's hot. I'm like, wow, he's good looking. He's a little bit intimidating. And he's like the muscles and all that. I'm like, oh shit. He said, do not say anything. Just do what he said and he'll fix you. He'll fix you for sure. And he's hard. It's not going to be fun. And she said, he fixed my knee. He's going to fix you. Just listen to him. And then I did. And you fixed me. Thank you, Mikael.
Hey, man.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I mean,
did I tell you the same thing, Leanne? Don't talk back.
No, I don't think anybody told me that. I guess they knew, being from the South, I wasn't going to talk back much. Not in my roots.
She had to prove that. She had to prove it.
No, I don't know. I don't remember. I know Sandy just said he's going to let you take my place while I'm in Vietnam, and then we'll see how it goes. But I don't remember anybody telling me not to talk back or to do everything he says or anything like that.
How long? And just so it doesn't sound like I do that. Did y'all say I do that? How long?
You don't. I just know better because I see the B Squad talking back, and it just doesn't get.
I would never talk back. I would never do that because why? I would never do that. Well, that's just not my nature.
Fighting with you for the same thing,
right?
So fighting me isn't the answer. It's like, why are you fighting the answers? Like, I'm giving you answers, and you want to choose the wrong answer. Well, I'm not going to ever be all right with that, and. Honestly, seeing Sandy come in with her arm frozen and hearing that she'd been through
so much pain. Sandy was in so much pain.
And she, she was going to some we're going to leave names out of it, very fluent places. She started telling me about stuff they were doing, and I was like, they can't help you. Like, they're now guessing. Because, and really, I just felt like Sandy would do anything I asked. So that responsibility to try and create something that worked, it's all just positive energy and two people in the same space trying to do the same thing. Like, anything is possible.
It's positive energy and integrity, right?
Yeah.
Sandy came and did what she said she would do. And you did what you said you would do.
Well, like you just said, 100%.
It's integrity.
100%. And I take the people I see, personal injuries, personally.
Right.
When you have a personal injury and you're in my life, it's personal to me too. So, like, I'm gonna just do everything in my possible in my mind and in any minds of anybody I know, because I have no problem reaching out in my little network of people going and giving them the synopsis and having ideas thrown back at me. Like, I'll do anything for the people who are doing everything they can to get better. I'll do anything.
Well, I think Sandy probably feels the same way. There's nothing better than freedom from pain, right?
Yes.
Working out 3 days a week, sweating your ass off, making it happen is so worth it to have no pain.
Say that again. Making it happen. This is a lost art. What we now become professionals at is why it can't happen. Well, that can't happen. That can't happen. I don't have time to do that. You ladies, make it happen. Weeks in advance, like, oh, I can't. Can we move this time? Now, what I'll never tell you is when we move times, I have to move 8 or 9 people.
Yeah, I know.
But you ladies have earned that respect.
Well, thank you.
I don't want to miss the opportunity for us to grow and advance. Not now an opportunity we get, not one.
So who came up with the name Drop Squad?
I did.
Did you, or was it at Lily's birthday party when we were doing our little...
yes, the dance workout.
I can't remember. That's why I asked the question.
I think I came up with it, and I'm going to tell you why. This was my process of thinking. It was like the third day in a row, you was dropping weight. It's like everybody in the
that's right.
was dropping weight. And I'm like, I've never had 3 women on this journey who showed up and was like, I'm down 3, I'm down 2, I'm down 1. I'm like drop squat. And that from that point on, Kat took that.
I think you're right.
And then put it on you. Like, I never called it drop squat. Right. I said, it's like the fucking drop squat. And then she said, from that point on, it was like, it just became you guys' name. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's because shortly after that, Sandy had a dance party. And there was a dance-off. And we were on a team. The 3 of us were on a team, and we named our team Drop Squad. And we had to drop it, right? We were on the floor. We were doing push-ups, sit-ups. We were working out. It was a pretty fun drop squad. I think that solidified your naming. We solidified it at Lily's birthday.
Yeah, I just threw it out not as a name, as a title for an experience. Y'all grabbed it and threw it on your backs, and I am happy to say that, like, I've yet to be. I don't know how long, because I really don't keep track of time. In that way, we've been together, but it's just been like, it doesn't matter how hard my day is or how long it is. It's a breath of fresh air when we lock in and lock and load. It's really, and you see how temperamental I am. Sometimes I'm like really quiet and nice, and sometimes I'm just like on one. And when I'm on one, it's just roll. Like, y'all just roll with it. Some of my other people want to challenge me when I'm on one. I'm like, you can't tell them I'm on one right now. I'm on one. And this is when you want to talk to me. It's always...
Do you want to explain what that's like, Sandy, when he's on one?
Well, I have to be honest. But sometimes after a session, we're like the drop dead squad. Shit,
so bad.
Right?
It's really bad. Yeah.
Shit. I mean, we can talk and it's very easy. It feels like we're like dropping weight and, looking good and feeling great, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It's hard work, and it's commitment. It's being really committed to not just working out, but to drinking 4 of these a day.
Yeah.
And to doing the other stuff you're supposed to do to stay active on the other days, and
making a hell of a choices at the dinner table.
Eating.
People act like they cannot control what they put in their mouths. I'm not asking you to be manic about it, but I am asking you to be conscious. And to your credit, you see how food affects your gains.
Yes.
You don't even have to talk about it. Like, y'all get right at it. As soon as I've had Kat said something. Yes, I had my celebration over the weekend. I got to get at it. I mean, I don't have to.
I would come on a Sunday morning and he would look at me and go, you went to dinner last night. And I did. I'd been to like some fancy restaurant. We got there late and I ate everything. So bread, stuff I normally, I only eat once in a blue moon. And you could tell.
Right.
I'm like,
well, I'm gonna let you guys into something because I'm an artist.
Yes, you are.
It took me. I almost quit the training because I felt like it was going to interfere with my journey as an artist. Mm-hmm. And I'm very spiritual. I was coming back from church, and I remember I was driving. God pulled me over on the side of the road, and I pulled over, and he said very clearly to me, he said, I've given you a gift. You've worked very hard to put yourself in a position to help. And if you do not continue to help, then I won't help you on this end.
Wow.
Well, thank you, God.
Yeah.
That benefits me. I was going to say, you have a gift at this. You're not a normal trainer. You're really, really gifted and intuitive and really smart, and you're highly trained. You have how many certificates?
9.
It's insane. But you are really gifted, and we never do the same workout twice. Never. I can't believe you can see how subtly out of alignment one of us is in an exercise and call us out on it. I mean, I kept thinking this patterned wallpaper is going to throw him off. No, you see everything. So that's interesting that you had that, because I've always wondered about that, because I know you are an artist, and that is your focus and a big drive for you. And I've always wondered what you felt about that.
Well, I'm focused on, I love it all.
Yeah, both.
The beauty of it is God revealed to me, like, art isn't it all. Like, the beauty of creating for you guys is that's like creating a character. It's like creating a story.
Right.
It starts in the morning with this, and then we move, and we give and take, and we're like water with it. So I got 4 or 5 things in front of me we could do. I write up 5 or 6 routines and let your bodies tell me, I don't know where we're going to be. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're on your feet all day. And now we got to go to the floor. Like, I just don't want to stop. I just want to be part of something beautiful. And that's why I can see it. Like, you're all little beautiful pieces of art that I get to be part of creating. So when I see that art, that piece, not looking quite like I last saw it, I can tell.
Right.
Or when I see that piece look better than I last saw it, I can tell. Because it matters to me. It matters to me, a pound here, 2 pounds there. All that matters to me. It matters to me because it's either where we're going, and I'm super excited about it, or it's not part of what we are trying to do, and I don't want you to think I'm okay with it.
Right.
So, like, that's why you think I have a lot of clients. I don't have a lot of clients. I don't have any clients. All the people I spend my time with are part of my circle. You know what I mean? And I don't need, a lot of people have like 60 clients in high rotation. I have 14 to 15 clients who've been with me 8 years, 15 years, 14 years, some 13. And that allows me to feed both my crafts, and because there's a lot of study that's always involved in this as well.
I'm sure.
I can never stop studying either. Like, I'm never without papers or access to information, because I don't ever want you girls to see something on a computer, some idiot doing something on Twitter, and then be like some of my other clients do. Can you look? I want to show you something. I'm like, oh shit. Somebody standing on their head. It's like, you don't have to do all that to get shoulders. All I'm saying is, you don't have to do all that to get shoulders. If you want to do it, we'll figure our way to it. But you don't have to do that.
I don't need to do that. I'll pass on that in tuck jumps. I don't need to do tuck jumps ever again. I hate tuck jumps. I'm joking. But Sandy, Kat, what is the hardest part about Drop Squad? What's the hardest thing?
Well,
I want to take it on.
The hardest thing is when my body really hurts, like it did today, and I go back in the next morning and I have to pick up those heavy weights again. I mean, I couldn't even scratch my back. I can't I had an itchy back. I had to get my assistant to scratch it because I couldn't move my arms.
And just to be clear, heavy weight she's talking about is 7-pound dumbbells.
I know, right?
I just want to be clear. I want everybody to be clear. It's not like I got her down there with 900 pounds on her back.
I'm sorry, but 7-pound dumbbells is a lot for me. I mean,
it's a lot for everyone.
We just graduated to 7s. We just graduated.
This morning I got back into it and it was like, pick up the 7-pound weights. And I'm like, my arms are on fire. Fire. I'm like, what? But I didn't say anything. And it just was really difficult. And I was just doing this, like, why am I doing this? This is just painful. But I just adjusted my brain. Like I said, it's like, okay, just give it 2 seconds and then get back into it. Right. My arms still hurt.
Oh, I'm so sore right now. I mean, everything is sore. My butt, my arms, my chest, everything.
I know. Something happened like 3 weeks ago. Something shifted, I feel like. And everything got much more intense. Like it got really intense. Like I'd come home to Bert and I'd go, I just did a full hour of ass. Like that's all we did. 1 full hour of ass. Next day, I just did a full hour of shoulder. Like all we did was shoulder. And I kept going, is he kidding me? I'm never going to be able to do all this. And then I do it. And then I go, I can't even believe I did all that. But
you have upped the ante, Mykel.
No question about it.
Yes. Like 3 weeks ago.
Because during the winter, it's when people want to calm down, put on 10 pounds of unnecessary weight. And then comes summer, they're in a panic and we're drinking cayenne pepper and water for 8 days. So my game plan is like, strike the shit up just a little, so they're thinking about that damn food before they see me. Right. So by the time we get out of winter, we already gonna be fine. And then when I put the summer spack on you, you're gonna be what's to look at the pool. Like people know
so much crafting. There's so much crafting involved, right? That's I wouldn't have thought of that. Sandy, what's the hardest thing for you in Drop Squad?
Well, I think the hardest part is when you don't work out for more than 2 days and the anticipation of getting back into it, that first day getting back into it is so fucking hard. I mean, we went, I think there was one time there, we didn't work out for 5 days. I was traveling or 6 days. And then we went back at it and it was so hard. And I can feel like every minute feels like an hour. I mean, that whole hour feels like a whole 8 hours, a whole day. I thought I was like, I'm not going to make it through. I'm not going to make it through. But I'm just like, my whole body's heavy. So, Kat did tell me this. He's like, you have to, even if you not seeing Mikael, just do some sort of workout, something to keep your body moving. Mm-hmm. And sure, she's right. And I just keep it. And that was the best advice, because if I don't do it more than 2 days, even like walking or anything, but getting back to it, that is so hard. It's just starting that, that to me was like the hardest part. And of course, Mikael yelling at me all the time. Sandy, watching me like a hawk. Like, Sandy, yeah, your knee. Ass back.
Opposite arm. Is that your opposite arm? Opposite arm. Your opposite arm.
You know what I most love about that? I make you guys continue to work while I'm adjusting her, and I do not add it to the number of reps at all. So we get an adjustment space. You just work till she's caught up, and then I add. And you girls, to your credit, I know you're saying to yourself, well, how many are we doing?
I do.
I'm doing it, but to your credit, you'll quit. You just keep going, looking at me side-eyed. I don't see you. I'm trying to get Sandy locked in.
Sometimes I do quit. Sometimes I go, I have done at least 50 and I'm stopping. I'm just going to
I say, country,
I have to stop.
Get your butt back up, country. Get your butt back up.
The hardest part for me.
And Mikael is always counting for me.
I know. So. I'm always counting, and I'll think he doesn't know where I am. And you'll say 8, and I go, I was at 8. How did you counting? He was talking to Bryce the whole time. How do you know it was me? I know, it's kind of amazing. I was like, you must have some kind of inner clock, inner counter after all these years. The hardest part for me is the way I talk to myself when I'm working out. I don't enjoy that all the time. I'm always like, this is ridiculous. There's no way you're going to finish this. There's no way you're going to get this done. You can't possibly do that. This is impossible. I don't ever say it out loud because I don't want to give it that much, but I'm trying to make it stop, just shut up and enjoy and know that everything's good. But the whole time we're working out, I'm the whole time going, there's no way you're going to make it through. You're just not going to make it through. You maybe can do 5. Go for it. Let's see how many you can do.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many times have you girls heard me ever say, you can't do something, you're not going to make it through it?
No, you've never said that. Obviously, that's not you.
Here's what I want to say. See that voice in Country's head? That was a bad coach. That's what they do. Because we get in your psychology. You're weak and we're in your ear. What you say inside somebody's ear when they're grasping for help redefines. You've just rewired yourself to even take negativity and make it positive. So when a lot of people are like, you can get more with honey than you can get with vinegar, I'm like, no, you're a vinegar girl. I found that out early. You need plenty of vinegar. No honey for you, honey. But then there are those people who honey works with, but you learn real quick about old coaches. And there's a person in you that's forever trying to prove, but that's forever trying to, win, compete. And that drive, it drives you. That voice is challenging you. Some people submit to it and quit. You use it as a challenge. It's like, I'll show you. Like your physical action is saying, I can do it all. I don't know what you be saying in your ear, but your physical body is saying, give it to me. What's next?
Okay,
Next.
I like that perspective. So the next time I start talking to myself that way, I'm going to have that perspective.
No, don't change nothing. That is nothing.
No, I'll say, bring it on. Talk more trash, lady.
Talk to yourself. Tell yourself you're going to fall apart. Tell yourself all that. It's working. I don't change nothing. It works. If it works, I ain't changing.
What is the most important thing for you about Drop Squad, ladies? What's the most important thing?
My ass.
That's why I work it.
The most important thing for me is, participating in it. Because if I don't participate in my own well-being, then I don't, reap any, even if it's shitty, I hurt, or some days, it's not that hard because we get a bit of an off day. It's just
when
some days
not lately,
no, but there was some times like 6 months ago, we'd be like, it wasn't that bad, but it's just the fact that I get up at 5 a.m. so I can walk that barking asshole over there and, and then I prepare for it and I never want to do it. I mean, I get ready, I make my place ready because we're doing it on Zoom, and it's the last thing I want to do.
Interesting.
But I do it. And I know I'll feel terrible if I don't make the effort.
Right.
So that's what it is for me. What about you, Sandy?
The most important? My ass.
That's it.
How many times you
for the ass.
Did you not hear it the first time? She can step it.
She's the ass woman.
Sandy, you don't care how I go about it.
No.
We're good. Mm-hmm.
No, it's the way I feel. Like really, pain-free. And I like the way I look too. Don't get me wrong.
You look amazing.
I do.
You do.
And I don't think I ever felt this great and looked this good. Ever. I don't think. Maybe when I was like 18, but I was not toned or anything like that. I was but I feel great. I'm more confident, and I could just do anything. I can lift this box and without feeling like, oh man, I might hurt myself. Mm-hmm. And I think that is probably the most important thing, is the way I feel.
It is good for the confidence, I think.
Yeah.
It really is. What about you, Leanne?
I think it's kind of the same. You know, like I was saying just to Kat before you guys joined, I was really upset before I started working out with Mykel at how my strength had changed. I was a really strong, physically strong person when I was younger. And before I started working out with Mykel, because of my back problem, I think I was working out, but I was hurting my back every day when I was working out. So I wasn't very effective, but I was like having trouble standing up when I'd put clothes in the dryer. I'd have to like help myself up. And then we took our kids to the lake in Alabama. And we have this big rope swing, and my kids were going off the rope swing, and I went up to the top and grabbed on the rope swing, and I thought, I don't think I can actually physically hold my body up and make it into the lake. Like I'm going to not be able to hold myself on the rope swing and drop and hit the ground. So I'm not going to do it. And that was so upsetting. So for me, I would go on a rope swing, no problem. I have no problem getting up from the dryer. I feel really physically very strong. And that transformation from the way I felt about myself when I was feeling that way, that rope swing thing really screwed me up because, you know, I've been growing off a rope swing since I was freaking knee high to a grasshopper. And then all of a sudden I was like, this is actually dangerous for me. And I'm only 48. And that's really sad that that's where I am. And I was working out. I was doing a really well-known workout program that I worked out 5 days a week. And it's a really well-known program. And I thought, well, I'm working out. Why am I not strong? So I think that part of it's been really big for me. How I feel about my physical body has affected how I feel about myself in general. But yeah, I pick things up now where I go, I can't believe I picked that up. Or like you said, I fell out of that tree and I caught myself falling out of the tree and got myself back in the tree. I wouldn't have been able to do that before working out with Mykel. No way.
But the difference is, as Mykel would say, is you're working out, not training. He's training us.
Right.
Go ahead, speak on it, girl. You're going to be my assistant after this.
See?
I got a question. You both have ladies. You both have young ladies that you're grooming.
Mm-hmm.
How has your new physical state affected them?
Good question. My girls are actually working out more now that they see me working out. And yes, and Kylie gets on the treadmill every day for 20 minutes. And Lily has always been active. And then she's like, yes. And they're trying to keep up with me. And I think I'm actually more in shape than they are, or at least for Kylie. No, it's actually been, they see that. And I think it sets a good example for them.
I think it sets a good example. I'm not sure it had the same effect on mine. I would have liked for it. I mean, Georgia came to how many drop squads, and I cannot drag her back because I am in better shape than she is.
Yes.
And she will not compete. And not that I'm competing, but she will not be in that space with me. It makes her very upset. I mean, she cried after the last drop squad, and I knew exactly what it was about. It was about Mom doing more than she could. And of course it was her first or second time. Like the logic of it goes, well, of course of course I've been doing this for, 6 or 8 months. And now you've jumped in like a trooper, and I've not gotten her to really work out much since then. And then Isla has never been that way. She's like I was growing up. If there was a water ski or a snow ski or some kind of like balance oriented speed, thing, but I didn't play a sport. I didn't do that. I water skied and snow skied. And if we lived at a mountain, that girl would be on the mountain every day, but she's not going to go do sit-ups. I don't know. They've noticed that my body's different, but that part of it, I don't think I've affected them positively at this point. Now, as an adult, it may change how they are as an adult.
Facts. That's going to change. My son, it's been around me his whole life, Jim, his whole life. And he did not want to work. He worked out with me once or twice. It was hard. He just accepted I was going to be on another level. and he just wasn't ever going to reach that level. And I thought for the longest amount of time that was working against me. And then he told me the other day, you know what, Dad? All my friends have always thought you were the coolest dad ever. Because, you show up, you got these muscles hanging everywhere, you're strong, you do anything, you look young. He's like, yeah. I used to tell him, I said, you just don't know how hard he works. And he got a girlfriend, and now it's like every day he wants to get it in the gym. And he said to me the other day, I should have picked this up a long time ago. I just wasn't ready. But this whole time I thought he looked at it like, like it's just something he was never going to do. And the truth is, like, they see, and it impacts them because this is a visual world.
Right.
People see the work, and they can't help but be like, they can't help but appreciate it. Right. I know you have a great bit of listeners, and normally when I listen to somebody's trainer, or I hear a trainer's going to be on, or I hear Drop Squad's going to be on, they're hoping to get some sort of like in the middle of like getting to know kind of us. They may be hoping to get some like helpful nutritional hint, something they would have to pay for if they sought counsel from somebody of my expertise. So like if there is anything you think your audience may be interested in knowing from me just as a trainer that might just generally help all of them, please ask me.
Oh, that's really nice. So if someone does, okay, I'll ask a question I think people might want to know. If someone doesn't have access to a trainer, what should they be doing to stay fit? Like there's some people who can't financially afford a trainer.
Right. So here's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wall and floor.
Wall and floor.
If you use the wall and the floor, it's hard to hurt yourself.
Mm.
If you use the wall, you do wall squats. You do a squat with your butt. You step away from the wall and use the wall as a guide so that you're sitting back and not into your knees. If you turn around, do push-ups against the wall, it's hard to drop into your back or overextend your shoulder. It doesn't matter where you put your hands because the wall doesn't give you that space to hurt. It lines you up, the floor, to do push-ups, to do sit. When people do crunches, this is something that's done wrong by a lot of people. Somehow we've got in our head that a sit-up is a crunch, which is where you sit your body all the way up, or a crunch is when you grab your neck and pull it off the floor. So here is the secret. It's neither one of those things. A crunch takes place between your rib cage and your pelvis. So stop thinking about crunches pulling on your neck. Think about crunches getting your shoulders off the floor. It should start from your shoulder. Your shoulders happen to take your neck with it. But the crunch takes place from the C formation that takes place when you crunch the torso over, being led from the brain up the shoulders, not your head.
Right.
If your head's back, it's 8 pounds pulling against the seat. So, of course, your chin should be tucked. Mm-hmm. But you're not really using your neck at all.
Right.
So don't even get up off the floor with your neck. Get up off the floor with your shoulders. Mm. And that will keep the neck out of it. If your shoulder blades cannot get up off the floor because your abdominals are not strong enough, go to the wall. Put your feet up against it. Now your feet are against the wall. Now try and throw yourself up to your legs. Like bring your hands behind your head as hard as you can and throw yourself and try to touch the wall. Here's the beauty of it. You'll never get a neck ache because you're not grabbing your head.
Right.
If you get to your legs with your hands, it's probably going to be about 4 inches between your chest and your thighs. Now you have a crunch, and you have crunch without neck pain. You have a crunch where your spine's lined up properly. And you have a crunch in that perfect 90-degree angle. So now your abs are engaged. That's something. So get away from these in the air abdominals everybody's doing, in sleeves and all this. You're not ready for that. Like, you have to really understand core discipline, start doing gymnastics.
So the wall and the floor.
Yes. Now I want to share something with your listeners. Why I respect fit people. Because fit people with a physique is much more than how good they look. A well-built physique is a status symbol that reflects your hard work. Money can't buy it, nor can you inherit it. You can't steal it, nor can you borrow it. You can't hold on to it without you being consistent. It shows dedication. It shows discipline. It shows self-respect. It shows dignity. It shows patience. It shows work ethic and passion. Being fit is more than a look. Mm-hmm. In order to be it, anyone who sees you knows you had to go out and get it on your own.
Right.
With hard work.
Right.
And if you don't think that's respect, even when they're like, oh, he has to be doing something illegal. They've taken time out of their lives. Because instead of complimenting you and being like, wow, look at what you've done, which you ladies do in spades, like, I've never seen it like that. You're just good people because you don't mind empowering somebody else with the truth of their hard work. Most people, because they're perpetuating who they are, don't even want to believe that that's hard work is the way you got it. So then if they discredit it, they can have it too by doing nothing but discrediting you. Right. The truth of it is, they know deep down inside that you've caught their eye because of the work.
Right.
I never had to have a car. I used to lift my garage lid up right off Devonshire. I used to train myself from 4 to 6 where the traffic jams would stop. And all the cars would line up. And they would literally be in my gym trying to see what I was doing. Then they pull over. Late for whatever. I'm just running to work. I passed you up 9 weeks in a row, and I decided today I'm talking to him. And I thought to myself, when you're doing the right thing, it draws attention.
That's true. Well, what I like about what you read is that is the formula for sticking to any kind of regimen, right? Any kind of workout. Everything you just said, as dedication, hard work, persistence, all those things you just listed, that's what it takes with a trainer or without. I mean, if you can't afford a trainer and you use the wall and the floor, you still have to show up with those things with hard work.
If I couldn't afford a trainer and I really wanted to go to the next level, I'd go work for one.
Great idea.
Because you couldn't possibly, like a mechanic, you can't look at a mechanic. You get his tools and all that. You got to get in the dirt and see where. I just go knock on one. Can I intern with you 1 hour? I guarantee you he won't say no. I don't know a trainer in the world that would be like, free help.
Right.
Now you're getting all the routines because he's doing them in front of your face.
Right. That makes sense.
Understand what he's doing, how he's doing. But people don't want to invest like that. They want you to tell them.
Right.
They don't want to take an hour. I had a guy who graduated from Purdue, very good friend of mine. He moved here, couldn't keep clientele. He heard about me. I said, I don't want to meet him to my client. So one of the people in my circle. So he used that and was like, I need you to talk to the guy. So the guy comes, beautiful, blessed spirit. He tells me his issue. And I said, you don't want to follow me because I'm different. Like, it may not work for you, what I do. And he's like, well, can I watch you? And I was like, sure. He watched me one day. He said, they just let you say anything to them. I said, we're trying to get somewhere. I ain't got no time for niceties. We're trying to get somewhere. 3 months later, he said, can I move in with you?
Wow.
I'll sleep on your floor. No clients. He quit his job for 1.5 years. He just followed me around.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is before the phone. He was using beta camera and shit and take notes. But to this day, He's in a high rise in California, downtown, overlooking the city, glass balcony, training sheiks. Like, never had the problem since. But he invested a year and a half.
Wow.
And what he said at the end, he said, I see, I didn't have enough information.
Right.
Like, you go get these degrees and they get you ready to get in the world, but you got to compete against people who've been doing this for 20, 30 years.
Right.
Qualifications out their ass, and you got one. You know what I mean? He didn't understand that the client really, people who hire you, who went out their way to pay you, they're serious.
Right.
They're going to say they're not. They're going to try to tell you to take it easy, but they don't really want you to. They want to wake up 6 months after you put your hands on them and not recognize themselves. If you can't be part of that,
right,
because then they need to know who the fault is.
Right.
I'm never going to be at fault if we don't get where we're going, because I'm going to have been cussed you out. I'm going to have been made you cry. Made me cry. We both cried. Quit, came back, quit, came back. We're going to have to do all that. And then I'm going to be like, well, I don't know what else I can do, basically, other than that. You still don't really want to do nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But
exhausted all.
Yeah. And he didn't realize he was trying to be nice.
Right.
And they weren't. But he wasn't. But they weren't changing.
Right. Which is the point, right? That's the point. You have to be changing.
And what's the little quote? If you're not a little afraid of your trainer, here's something for your people. Listen to me, everybody. If you're not a little bit afraid, every time you click on Zoom or you in his private establishment, little bit afraid, fire him.
Yeah, we're a little bit afraid.
We're a little bit afraid.
Very hard. I mean, I heard you talk about how I kid. They probably think they're like, he's abusing them. Like, he just kills them all the time.
No.
Yes.
Kat has to jump off. If you have to go, Kat, you go.
I'm sorry, but it was so great to see you guys.
Thank you, Kat.
And I'll see you on Tuesday for the B Squad because I have a big shoot.
Yeah, you will.
All right. See you later. Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
Bye. Wife,
I have one more question for my listeners, and then I have to jump off too. So if there's one, what do you think is the most important nutritional thing someone can do to change their body?
When you wake up in the morning, have a warm glass of lemon water, 20 ounces of water with 2 fresh lemons squeezed in it, because it's an astringent. Second, will help rinse out your organs, kind of cleanse you. And it's the first thing you put in your body after you've kind of fasted. Everybody talks about intermittent fasting. You're fasting every time you go to sleep.
Right.
You've been intermittent fasting your whole life. The only thing you haven't been doing is putting the proper food in your body after you fasted. You were like, I'm starving. Get the ham, pancakes, and sausage out. That's why it's never really worked out for you. But it's not new to fast. If you slept 8 hours, you only needed 2 more where you didn't eat. Well, let's talk about it. You slept 8. You got up, brushed your teeth. You got your children ready for school. Your hair ain't done. Well, there you're in 10 hours. You still haven't eaten. There go your fasting.
Right.
Like, so what I like to do is introduce my body to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 20 ounces of warm lemon water to start the day. Just flush. It takes all the little cravings and all that. So now I'm not sitting around breakfast going, I don't want oatmeal. I can't handle the weight of 2 pancakes and it's just waiting. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that, rinsing it out, cleaning feeling cleansed, letting your body, letting that vinegar, letting that lemon water kind of work through your.
Would that make you poop?
What?
Would that make you poop?
No, it's not.
I mean, I poop every morning anyway, but.
Yeah, good, because you should be high. You get them good greens in. Just get them high, super greens in. You're going to poop. High fiber, oatmeal will have you poop. And super greens, you be pooping. It's like not an issue.
No, the vinegar, would that upset your stomach and make you want to
Listen, they got it
flush
now
it out?
where you can get it. They got it now where you can do it in gummies.
You can do it in what?
Now where they got the apple cider vinegar and gummies.
Oh, in gummies. Oh.
Like eating gummy bears. Me, I like harsh. I like the harshness.
I've noticed that about you. You do like harsh.
Because I'm more old school. I like to feel like it's working. You know, if it ain't nasty, something ain't working.
Right.
If it tastes too good, it can't be healthy. Like, I kind of like that. I do want to say one thing before you have to disappear, and this is important. I want people to think about their bodies like this. if you had a raw stick of iron and you wanted to bend it into another shape, you stick it in the fire for how long?
Till it gets hot.
How do you know when it's hot?
Because it's red.
If you pull that thing out when it's red, you won't bend it.
No.
It turns red. Then what color does it turn?
Blue.
Then you pull it out. That's past the fire.
Right.
It's red fire. Now you have blue. Then you pull out. Then what do you have to do to make it reshape itself?
Bend it.
How do you bend it?
Force it with something, right?
What if it? I mean, I've seen a blacksmith. You've seen them too. Yeah. Sometimes they can't hand bend it. What do they get?
A tool.
They get a mallet and they bang at it. Bang, bang. So now you stuck it in the fire till it was blue.
Right.
Brought it out the fire, had to bang on it.
Yup.
Bang, bang. Then you get it to bend into the shape you want.
Right.
Then you stick it in the cool water and the shape holds. That's what it takes to really start to see physical change in your body. That's why I'm hard. It's like, we got to get in the fire, and then I got to take you to the blue light. And then when we get to the blue light, I got to bang on it.
Right.
So that when we cool down, reshaping is happening.
That is a great analogy. That is a great analogy.
So, yeah, I'm hard as F.
My ass was blue several times this week. How about you, Sandy?
It's still blue.
And it got pounded like this.
Yes.
It's still blue.
I know.
Yes. And I see how you ladies are looking. I know your husbands have to be quite pleased. They're not complaining. I mean, I'm not hearing any phone calls in the middle of the night from husbands, so they got to be happy.
No complaints from mine.
So I really like the way that it has turned you ladies over into this kind of, you're both, all three of you, super strong women, super confident women, very, very real women. You have vulnerabilities and sensibilities, and you face those things head on. You'll cry in front of me, you'll cuss in front of me, you'll spit in front of me, like you're alive. And I know that's got to be infectious to the people listening to you, because it's infectious to me. There are mornings I wake up, I'm tired. I was up all night, and then I studied, and I got like 2 hours of sleep, and I put this thing on, and you're like standing there in front of that rosy-ass wall, and Sandy's got her blue man out, walking back and forth. I'm like, these ladies is ready to go to work. Like, you wake up, bro, because these ladies are ready. And then you say, what are we doing? And I'm like, well,
here we go.
Oh. And that is this is you affecting me and getting me out of my shit. So like, it's really a pleasure to be on this journey with you guys. I look forward to our time together and watching you change and fight and scrap. I mean, I hope your listeners really get that I call you country, because in the country, that's where it's hard.
Yeah.
So you gotta be tough. You ain't no city girl. You want to shit the hard way. Like, whatever. Never heard you make an excuse for anything. Like, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you're just trying to grow. And you're not afraid of what that means, as looking at yourself and what you've been through, and knowing that made you and got you where you are, and then trying to learn from those lessons. It's like, that's hard. It's really hard to be like that and have girls around you like that. Like, Sandy's tough.
And Sandy's one of the most
chick.
amazing people.
I mean, Kat, gorgeous as she is, she's single because she's tough.
Yeah.
Like, and hats off to Bert, because he's tough. You're tough.
I'm dead inside. He says,
independent firecracker. You can't be no man unless you got tough skin messing with you girls.
Right.
So like, I have a daughter, and I love that she peeks around the corner and watches y'all get down like that. It's like, she knows what it is.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I feel very lucky to have this group, and I love what we've been doing together for me a little over a year, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So
you say it's Drop Squad for life.
Drop Squad for life, baby.
That's what you say. That's what you say. Don't change it up now, because folks listening. It's Drop Squad for life.
No, it's for life. There's no change. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I also don't plan on dying anytime soon. So it is. But thank you, Mykel, for sharing all that. Thank you, Sandy, for coming on and talking to me. Mykel, maybe we can do it another time and just talk about working out.
Hey, listen, you get some questions in from your folks, because I'll
do that.
I want to help, and if I can answer them 100%,
bring it on.
You know, like I like to say, you can check my shit, Google it. When I give you an answer to a question, Google it.
Right.
You know, you this isn't like one of those on the dark web type things where like I done made up some shit, and if you do too much searching, you'll realize I don't know what I'm talking about. If I give you some, you ain't gotta do no more looking. Like, just take that right there, use that right there.
Well, you and I'll do one, just the two of us, and just talk about working out. And I'll have anybody who has questions can email me at wifeotp.com and ask questions for Mykel. And we'll do another, if you want, we'll do another episode answering those questions. That'd be fun.
I'll tell you what I want y'all to do. Ask Country to take about a 10-minute snippet of them getting at it. You're going to see.
Oh, we can do that.
You should do it to show, because I want them to know you be getting at it. Like, y'all some dogs. It is. No joke about it. I'm a bad boy. I got elite athletes. I know what dogs are. You girls, dogs. Great dogs. They cute dogs. They act like they dogs. Trust me.
I'm a refugee dog. I'm a G dog.
Hey, Sandy, you're not a normal dog. Or are you a normal dog? I forgot. Are you normal dog?
G dog, a refugee dog.
Well, I love you guys very much. And I thank you for your friendship and for what we do together. And I look forward to every Drop Squad, not only because I know I'm changing my body, but because I get to spend time with you guys.
Drop Squad for life, baby.
Drop Squad for life.
See you Monday.
See you Monday. Bye.
You know I'm going to be right here.
Aha.